Days after violent protests were seen in the region of Kallakurichi, where the relatives of the 12th standard girl also took part, there's now heavy police deployment in multiple areas, including Vepur and Kadalur district. Remember, the second autopsy of the girl was completed yesterday because the family alleges foul play. So what we're learning is that this girl had fell off a building and unfortunately lost her life due to that, apparently due to suicide. There was suicide note as well. But the injuries found were only internal, and there was internal hemorrhaging and bleeding. I'm joined by Ritu live from Kallakurichi. Ritu, this seems to be the main contention, doesn't it? This girl fell from a great height. There was no blood on the ground, so as to speak. All the injuries were internal, and that's something the relatives can't fathom.
Yes, you pointed out right over there. This was all on Tuesday when she had died by suicide, and then later point on the Wednesday the news comes out as the parents were also being intimated about this whole incident. But you see the parents who are alleging that there is a foul game in fact behind her death is what they are saying. There would be a sexual harassment and other facts of what the parents are alleging. But in fact, as the investigation is on, they are also trying to do a demonstration at the site of how this particular girl tried falling down from that building from the third floor, and what would have been the consequences, or what are the other facts that will have to be counted. And as the family is alleging a lot of things in this particular whole incident, and that they denied to accept the girl's body as well. They said that the second autopsy, in fact, there are the fresh injuries first of all were being found on her body, and that's when they started telling that there's a foul play. So after that, you see they denying the body, and there was a lot of twists and turns in this whole story. And later point, as the Madras High Court ordered that the second autopsy will be conducted with the presence of the father and also the lawyer, and this whole procedure will be videographed. But what had happened exactly on yesterday, in fact, is that the district administration tried reaching out to the family members, but their phones were switched off. They were all not reachable. But you see the family on the other side saying that they have reached to the hospital, but they weren't there. But later point, this whole procedure was being conducted without the parents. The second autopsy was over, and then you see the other side, the CBCID going and pasting this whole notice on the wall, saying that they can now in fact collect the body as the second autopsy has been done, but still the parent seems to be not reachable.
Well, as you're telling us, Ritu, this is the notice that was stuck by the CBCID. They pasted a notice outside the deceased girl's house in Periyana Salur village in Kadalur district, informing her family about the completion, about the post-mortem, and asking them to collect her body for the final rites. Now, the family, they are not going to be happy with this, right, Ritu? They, I'm sure, rejected the second autopsy as well. Protests are still going on. They want some answers. They want some answers about these fresh injuries, A, that were found on the body, B, the fact that how was there no blood found when she jumped from the building. They are definitely not happy, and I don't think they want to take the body right now. Perhaps they want another autopsy. What are they saying?
Yes, no, first thing was that it was the family's demand, where they said that there were fresh injuries on the body and there is a foul play and it has to be re-examined. In fact, the re-postmortem was something that the family had demanded. But now remember, Madras High Court agreed to this particular demand of the family, and they did allow. And when the second autopsy took place, the family members weren't present, because on one side, when we tried contacting to the relatives of this particular deceased girl, they said that the family had left to the hospital, but at the hospital the parents weren't there. Now what we are seeing, and we are in fact hearing, is also that our sources are saying that the family is likely to take the further decision after the Supreme Court's order. Now that is something that they are waiting for, and then they probably will take decision on this particular thing. But on the other side, you see the CBCID pasting the second note. In fact, after the district administration, they have pasted this particular note on the wall of the house, which is in the Kodluru district. There the notice clearly states that since parents weren't able to turn up to the hospital, and though the district administration and the police officials had all tried calling family, especially the mother of this deceased girl, none of them were reachable, and that's when the autopsy had to take place as per the High Court's order. So that way that the second autopsy went on, but now the notice also says that since the second autopsy has already been done, you can come and collect the body now. But again, what sources are saying is that the parents are still not being able to speak on this particular matter, as they are still unavailable in the Kodluru district as well now. But meanwhile, the heavy security has been deployed in the Kodluru district, because if all sudden the family decides to take the body, in fact there would be a lot that has to be taken care on ground to keep the situation under control, because on July 17, when the violence broke out, there was enough of damage and the destruction that was being noted. So now the state police of the Tamil Nadu do not want to take risk at any cost and ensure that the situation is under control, whether it is Kodluru district or Kallakurichi or whole of Tamil Nadu. If you walk around the Kallakurichi district as well, every 500 meters you will get to see the police deployed over there. So this is something that is happening on ground.
Yes, Ritu, indeed, unmitigated anger there about a life gone too soon. But with that, it's a wrap from me on this bulletin. Next up,